show, we have 2 new games. One of them is called Balance of Power. Almost as bad, though not nearly as bad as Leviathans. This one's been around for a while. We've been showing it for a while, and it's finally out here at the show. Hopefully, late summer it'll be available in stores. We're taking pre-orders off of our site for it, but I kind of like to give it the pitch that if you like the concept of Risk, but really dislike its execution, then this game is for you. It's very simple. It's set in 1815, right after Napoleon's been deposed, and all the factions of Europe are going to town trying to see who's going to scramble and rise above to the top. And it has kind of a rock, paper, scissors mechanic to it, meaning you have 3 playing pieces, a general, king, and banker, and each one of those, the banker can only take the general can only take the king can only take the banker. And so as you're moving your pieces around on the board, each turn you're going to have a king action, a banker action, and a general action. And then within those actions you can replicate, so duplicate itself, you can move, and then you can attack. And then if you get Empire, which is you're the sole owner of all the provinces within your nation, you'll get an extra move. And that's pretty much the rules of the game. And a lot of times you'll explain that to somebody and you can kind of see the look on their face like, that seems too simple. How could it possibly be good? But the depth of play is just phenomenal, and how you have to balance every aspect, the way you have to interlever multiple lines of defense, because if he comes in and it kills your one guy, you've got to be able to have the one unit that can take out the unit that he was just coming in and attacking with. And the gourd is just gorgeous. The Knudsen brothers were the guys that did this, and they did all the design work, most of the artwork, and then Matt Hart. I'll give giant shout outs to him. He's our layout graphics guy. But I can't say enough highly about this game. In fact, 2 nights ago, after I don't know how many times I've played this before it came out, we're up at the Geek Chic area. Giant shout out to the Geek Chic guys. Go check them out. And we played 2 games, teaching new people in about a 4-hour slot. So it's a fantastic game. Please check it out.
Yeah, and a game being quote unquote simplistic isn't necessarily a bad thing, because there's a lot of like I think that's what a lot of game companies shoot for, is the idea of simple to pick up but then very challenging to master. I mean, that's something we hear over and over again with game design. So I definitely think that that's actually a plus.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the other game that we have here is called The Duke. It's a tile laying game. It's very dynamic and interactive, very flowing. Excuse me. And as the tiles are really nice wooden pieces, and they have a movement grid effectively that shows on each tile exactly how it moves around the board. And then you have different icons, and those icons are, for example, maybe I can only move, or one allows me to jump, one allows me to strike at a unit without moving. And as you're moving, and if you enter your opponent's square that has one of those tiles in it, you're going to capture that tile. But after you've moved, you're flipping the tile over, and it reveals a new movement pattern. And while they're somewhat similar to each side, one's kind of more offensive, one's a little more defensive, it means that every time you're moving around the board, you're constantly switching up what you have access to, and also what, of course, you have to defend against. And then the winner is the person who ends up grabbing the Duke. So each turn, you're going to start out with 3 tiles, 2 footmen and a Duke, and then you have the option to either move one of your tiles or you're randomly drawing out of your bag. And then as you draw out of the bag, that one has to be placed next to your Duke. So it's 12 unique tiles, 16 total tiles per side, double-sided, constantly random coming out. Pretty easy to see that the play and how often it's changing up is almost endless. I mean, we acquired this last year, Gen Con, in fact. A designer came up, Jeremy, and showed it to us, and we were instantly like, we have to be the guys publishing this game. So I probably played it 50 plus times, and on the plane here, I'm pulling out and playing it again, because even after all that time, I'm still finding new strategies to play. It's fantastic. And the other thing we're doing is kind of a different direction, is we will publish this game regardless of what happens. But with all of our other production commitments that we have, particularly with Leviathans, which is an incredibly large production, it probably wouldn't have been able to come out until next year. But we feel that this game is just so cool, and we feel that people will believe it as well once they see it and have a chance to play it, that we want it to come out now. And so we've actually just launched a Kickstarter program to help us get it out this year. And in usual fashion, there's an amazing series of great pledges that you can get through, an awesome bonus. Two of my favorite. One is that we're working with Geek Chic, another awesome shout out, to do like a really big deluxe wooden box with the inlaid wood top and the board and just an unbelievable setup. And then the second one, the very top pledge, the Duke pledge, will allow you to work with us to design your own tile that you get to design and name, and it'll go in the game and go out to everyone.
That sounds awesome. Now,